Hey guys, it's been a while and this is officially the last video of, the last vlog of 2025. Can you believe it? I told you guys that all my videos are pre-recorded, so I can't believe we have finally reached the last vlog of 2025, which is insane to me. So I thought I'm gonna end it by talking about something that could change in 2026, and that is my favorite Fast and the Furious movies. So I'm gonna say the list and then I'm gonna explain why. So some of you might disagree with me, some of you might not, I don't know. But the reason why I want to do this now is because Fast X Part 2 is supposed to either come out in 2026 or 2027. I'm not sure when, but it's supposed to come out soon. So the best to least, if I put it in that way, is Fast X, which is Fast 10, Fast 8, Hobbs and Shaw, Tokyo Drift, Fast 7, Fast 4, Fast 5, Fast 2, Fast number 1, the Fast and the Furious, Fast 9, and then Fast 6. Now the reason why Fast 6 would be right at the end, I think that's where Giselle dies. Yeah, I think that's where Giselle dies. And I freaking love Giselle a lot. Or dies. Because she shows up at the end of Fast X. It's like the characters that are gone just don't, it's not permanent. Everything is about family. It's not permanent in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Like, in Fast 7, they were told that Han was dead. And then Han comes back. And now Giselle is back. Like, don't tell me Jacob is gonna come back, because there's no way that dude could come back. But then again, by the way the car exploded with Han, there was no way that guy could come back. But he came back. And Giselle fell from a moving plane, but she came back. It's quite interesting, the things that happen in the Fast franchise. But the reason I love Fast X is because not only is it the most recent one, but I like the action in there, I like the plot twists. I feel like they were trying to make it a bit more about the cars, even though it was a lot about guns and stuff and explosions, with that big ass bomb by the Vatican. So that's why that's why Fast 8 is my second favorite, because I liked they incorporated the cars into Fast 8, but they were also interested in talking about the guns and like the whole aspect of, I think Fast 8 is where they were on the ice in the snow, and then yeah, I think Fast 8 is where they were doing that with the sub. But the one thing I don't like about Fast 8 is Cypher, because Cypher drove me insane when she was controlling Dom, and what she did to Elena. That was just so wrong. I get it. It was part of the storyline. Oh, but I hated what she did. I absolutely hated what she did, because I really liked Elena, even though I knew that she and Dom would not obviously be together, because I mean, Tom and Letty forever. But I was so mad because that just felt wrong. And then you saw, obviously, they could show them coming to save the baby. It was so cute. But that's why my third one is Hobbs and Shaw, because the way, like, the chemistry between The Rock and Jason Statham, it's indescribable. It's so funny that it's like I can picture another duo that's like that. I mean, they did have Kevin Hart in the movie as well. Like, Kevin Hart and The Rock have amazing chemistry as well as actors. So putting them together in the movie and having it be like action and about family, actually about like family and Samoa, and how they fought with their own weapons instead of guns, and showed that the people were the ones that were the strongest, not the weapons, and like humans versus robots kind of move. It was very cool. It's a little dramatic, but I mean, it's Fast and the Furious, so everything's dramatic. Then the next one is Tokyo Drift, because it's just something about it. And it's funny because at Wonderland in South Africa, I'm not sure if it's in America as well, it's probably under a different name or something, I don't know. In South Africa, we have a gaming arcade that's called Wonderland, and there's an arcade game called Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Never did I put the connection together that Tokyo Drift is a movie of Fast and the Furious. It's not just a game. Look, I discovered this a couple of years ago, so I'm not that much of an idiot, but I used to play the game all the time, and I would get so annoyed that it was these maps, because you get to choose what map you want to race on, that it was just curves, like all these turns, and I just used to think, why must I turn all the freaking time? And then I learned, because it's drifting, because that's what Tokyo Drift was about. It was about who can drift the best and all that kind of stuff. So I learned eventually that it was actually one of the movies that it was based on. Tokyo Drift, it was based on one of the movies. I did not know this until a couple years ago, and I was like, no shit, because that's one of my favorite games. And I always used to make people watch when I played, because I played that well. Which is why I'm very dangerous if it comes to driving, because I'll know how to drive. I did my one driving lesson I did a few driving lessons, but I did my one driving lesson where my foot was getting tired, so I let go of the clutch for a second and the car turned off, and I was laughing because I was like, I know exactly what I did wrong, and I know exactly how to turn the car back on, so it's fine, I'm not panicked. So I turned the car back on, and as I'm taking the turn, a bike was trying to overtake and like jump the robot, or the traffic light, whatever you guys call it, was trying to jump it, and was literally a centimeter or two, like just so close to us, and I just immediately put the clutch in and braked, and I stopped, and the guy next to me was like, you did it so well, like you were calm, you were like, dude, I know my way around a car. I've been in cars my whole life. I've watched my family drive my whole life. I know what to do when people are driving like maniacs. So don't let it fool you that I haven't driven before. I've got that instinct in me because of my family. So yeah, I love Tokyo Drift. And it's because of the game I knew that DK stood for Drift King. So when I was watching, I was doing a Fast and the Furious marathon, and I was watching Tokyo Drift for the first time. I heard them say, do you know what DK stands for? And I was like, oh yeah, Drift King. And then the guy goes, Donkey Kong. And then he goes, no, Drift King. And I was like, I was right. I was right. I knew the word. I knew what it was. And I felt cool. There was no one to feel cool with. I was watching it alone. But I felt cool. The reason why I say the next one is Fast 7. Oh, and it makes me cry every time. I think Fast 7 is the one where Paul Walker died. I think it was Fast 7, at the end of Fast 7. Then they show that montage of all the scenes where he was in, and Dom is like talking over it, and it makes me cry every time. But I like it because of how it starts, where Deckard Shaw is like introduced, and he like shot up this whole hospital to protect his brother, and it's like revenge is the way the movie starts, and then it's just action from the beginning. And yeah, then they put a bomb by Dom's house, which was very dangerous, very nuts, but yeah. So that's why that one is a favorite. The rest are also favorites. It's just, I think it's Fast 4 or Fast 5 where Letty is dead. I cried so much when they said that Letty was dead, because she is one of my favorite characters. So hearing that she died, it was it ruined everything for me to have to hear that. I was in shambles, but then obviously she was alive. I mean, obviously, it's Fast and the Furious. Obviously she was alive. I mean, who are we to think that the human nature would let people stay dead? I mean, come on. So yeah. But yeah, I've loved every single one of them. I just don't like where the characters have to die. I'm not a big fan of death, if I say it that way. Even in my books, I've written off characters where they've died. I'm not a big fan of it. No, it actually makes me uncomfortable to write about it, but I write about it. So when I watch things where people die, I don't like it that much. So those are my best to least favorite of Fast and the Furious movies. It'll probably change by the time part 2 comes out, but let's all see what happens with part 2 when it eventually comes to South Africa. Bye guys.